Good morning, guys. It is freezing cold outside today. Are y'all freezing? No. Y'all are still wearing shorts. What is wrong with you? I tell them to put socks and pants on and they don't listen. I have a hoodie on. I have sweatpants on. It's not cold in the house. We have the heater on, but I'm still cold. So it's like, I think it said 25 degrees out, but the feels like temperature is 9. I know to a lot of people that live up north or wherever, that doesn't seem like a big deal because you get like negative temperatures. But we're in Texas. Like 3-digit temperatures are normal to us, like 110, 111 degrees. Single-digit temperatures are not normal at all. It's just for a couple days, so we'll be fine. And it's not like snowing or icing or anything, luckily. It's just really cold and windy. But we're good. We got the heat on. The boys are
listening to Bible.
Couldn't tell where Garrett went. The boys are working on school, and we're just gonna get some work done today and do whatever. It's too cold to go outside, obviously, so we'll be doing some maybe video games and board games and all the things you can do inside because it's cold. I don't know what we're doing for lunch today, but I found a recipe for homemade frosted brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. And the boys have already had breakfast, but I still want to make them. It makes 16 of them, so I might cut it in half. I don't know if we need 16 homemade Pop-Tarts, but I decided it'd be fun to make, and then they can have them tomorrow morning. And then for dinner, but anyway, our plan today is just to get some usual house stuff done and stay warm and get school done. And I need to get my video up. And yeah, that's about it. So if you want to hang out with us today and stick around, we'll see what we get up to. And then for dinner, I wanted to make this meatball stew thing I found. But I think we're going to do some beef and shells because it just sounded good on a cold day. Just some comfort food. But yeah, I've been bored with food lately. I've been trying to find different things to make, but I feel like everything I find, we're like, oh, we've had that. We've had some version of that, or that's just like this, or I'll find like a good Chinese food recipe and we'll be like, oh, we just had Chinese food. Or I'll find a good Tex-Mex recipe and we're like, we just had that. It's so hard. Like, we're the type of people that we don't like to eat the same thing over and over. Like, I know people that literally eat like spaghetti on Mondays, tacos on Tuesday, you know, chicken on Wednesday. I can't do that. Like, I could if I had to, but I would rather have a variety of things. Not necessarily like super different thing. Like, they don't have to be like these super complicated recipes or anything. I just don't want to eat the same thing over and over. Like, I'll eat spaghetti every other week, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I've been trying to find some fun stuff, so. So for lunch on this day, everybody just kind of had something different. We had some leftover bacon in the fridge, and Tucker wanted basically a BLT with pickles. And Garrett wanted his usual ham and Colby Jack with lettuce, tomatoes, and pickles. Adam made us some ham salad from some leftover stuff in the fridge, and we just had that with some chips on a tortilla. I asked Adam to bring home a few groceries, and so we got some stuff for dinner. He bought 2 different kinds of pasta because he saw them both and liked them both, and so we're trying to decide which one we're going to use for dinner. So I ended up going ahead and making those homemade Pop-Tarts, and these were super simple. So I'm just going to get some flour into my mixer and some really cold butter, and I'm just going to get that mixed up with my stand mixer. I also put some cinnamon in there, and we're just going to get this mixed up until it forms like small pebbles, and then we'll start adding in water a little bit at a time, and I will link this recipe down below. So the recipe said it makes 16 Pop-Tarts, and I was like, we do not need 16 Pop-Tarts. So I cut the recipe in half, and I only ended up with 4 really big Pop-Tarts and 1 smaller one. I was not thinking when I was cutting them out, and I made them way too big. So I had 4 extra large Pop-Tarts instead of 8 normal sized ones. But these were really easy to put together. You just cut out the dough after you mix it up. And then the filling was super simple too. It's just some melted butter, brown sugar, some cinnamon and flour, and I put in a little bit of honey because I didn't have any vanilla, and this turned out delicious. So now all you have to do is put your filling on your bottom of your Pop-Tarts and put the top on, and you seal this together with an egg wash, and then crimp it with a fork, and these baked for 15 minutes, I think. These were so easy, and they turned out so good. So for dinner, I am making this recipe called creamy beef and shells, I think. I'll link the recipe down in the description box for you. I pretty much followed it, except we're using these spaghetti rings, so ours ended up more like homemade SpaghettiOs. I just browned up my ground beef with some salt and pepper and a little bit of olive oil in the skillet. And then once that's all browned, I'm going to drain it and take it out of the pan. So now in the skillet, we're going to make a roux with some butter and flour, and I'm also throwing in some seasonings. I put in some onion and garlic powder, some salt and pepper, and a little bit of Italian seasoning. Once that flour taste was all cooked off, I started mixing in my beef broth, and then I added in my tomato sauce. I think I should have added in the cream and the cheese at this point, even though that's not what the recipe said to do. I don't think. I don't even remember. But the cheese would have melted a lot better. It didn't melt that great, but it still turned out delicious. Once that sauce was all mixed up, I added back in the ground beef, added in our heavy cream, and then added in our cooked pasta and some sharp cheddar cheese, and just let this get all melty and come together. And this was a super simple dinner, and it was so good. Like I said, this turned out really, really good. The boys loved it. They both ate 2 huge bowls of this, and we still had some left over for lunch the next day. It was super good, super easy, and we'll definitely make this one again. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Dinner was delicious. It was pretty much like homemade SpaghettiOs or something because we used those noodles, but it kind of reminded me of like homemade beefaroni, like a Chef Boyardee type thing, but way better, obviously, because it's homemade. But it was delicious. It was creamy and cheesy. The boys devoured theirs and ate 2 bowls. Like, I've never seen Tucker eat dinner so fast. But anyway, that was good. And those Pop-Tarts, make those. If you're going to make anything from this video, make those because they were delicious. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.